Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to Karina Lanta Mentorship. And in this video, we're just going to do another velocity banking review. So, before we get started, I want to talk about how I'm a secret cult leader like Homer Simpson. So, you remember that episode from The Simpsons where Homer finds out that he's an accidental cult leader? Well, apparently, that's me too, but with regard to velocity banking. And if I don't post a video for a couple of days, look at all the people coming in to ask, "Where's the cult leader?" No, I'm just kidding. But I do appreciate you asking me if I'm sick, get better soon. Too many days without a video, and it's only been like I don't know 3 days. I didn't post Saturday. I did do a live stream on Sunday, and then Monday I was like, too tired. I got to bring home the bacon, the proverbial bacon, where I just kind of sit down and somehow make money. All right. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and get started. And actually, before we get started, let me type in into Chat GPT. I run a velocity banking channel where I proclaim that I'm a velocity banking cult leader. Somebody recently commented, "Can you let me know if this is a faithful follower?" See, ChatGPT gets the joke, or is it a joke? I don't know. So let me go ahead and
Oh, that comment definitely sounds like it's coming from a faithful follower, possibly even a high ranking cult member in your Velocity Banking congregation. Let's break it down. Are you sick? Immediate concern. They're emotionally invested. Get better soon if you are. Warm wishes, empathy, big loyalty energy. Too many days without a video. Translation: your content is my financial gospel, and I'm going through withdrawals. This person clearly misses your content and is worried about you. That combo equals cult level devotion in the best way. They're not trolling, not criticizing, just checking in on the leader and craving more sermons from the Velocity Bible. You should probably knight them or whatever cult leaders do. Want help crafting a witty or heartfelt reply to them?
Oh, I love that, the big loyalty energy and the immediate concern, because I clearly miss you too. That's why I'm making two videos, actually three. This is the third one, but two velocity banking videos in one day. And we just got to do it one more time. Velocity banking. In fact, I don't know if I should switch it up, but I can easily switch this up. Take out a credit card, add a loan, increase the mortgage, increase the expenses, or decrease them. I don't know. Should we go ahead and do that? Let me go ahead and I want to show you how I create the scenarios from scratch, right? So I actually start off with the income, right? So if it's like 5,500, right? I don't want to be too negative. Okay. I don't want to be too negative, but actually, let me redo this. And if you want to know how I come up with the budgets, I always start off with the income first, and then I come up with expenses that are kind of near my income or slightly above my income. So let's take out maybe this and this credit card and see what happens. And whoopsie, what am I doing? Delete this, delete this, right? And then now we have one credit card one, credit card two, right? And then auto loan, student loan. Let's just put in another auto loan, right? And so I'll just do this one right here. This is going to be 22K and maybe like 3%, right? 3% auto loan. And then I'm gonna do this right here. Student loan, we'll keep the same. And then the mortgage, okay, the mortgage, let's increase this a little bit. We'll say 220, but we decrease the interest rate. Interesting, right? And then maybe because we don't make that much income, we'll just say maybe like 1700. We'll see how it goes, right? And I play around with the numbers. And actually, let me do this. Okay, let me do this. And I'm gonna do this, and we're gonna do this right here, and let's go ahead and copy and paste. And this is gonna be 220000 3 and 5 and 10, and then 5 220000 3%. And yeah, I think we got everything. So now we got the loan amounts, the magical loan calculator, right? And think I got it. All right, so I'm gonna go right here and then copy and paste this, right? And then, if I have too much of a negative, it might be harder. So I like to say, all right, let's do 5,800. Okay, we'll do 5,800 today. And then that's how I come up with the scenarios, right? You see how easy it is. So let's go ahead and get started now with our velocity banking review. So, what is velocity banking? All it is a debt payoff strategy where you throw all of your money into debt with the help of something called a line of credit, right? And so, if I just kind of do this, right, same income, and let's go ahead and copy these expenses, right? I'm going to copy these expenses, but here's the crazy part, we're not gonna save money. I know, right? Like, if you ask the average American, like, what's better, $61 in your checking account or $0 in your checking account? They'll be like, "Oh, definitely 61 because that's responsible," right? And then if you take a look here, you see that I don't save money. Money comes in, and then I just throw it into the line of credit, right? And again, this is a debt payoff strategy. So what you do is you list every single debt that you have, and then in the last line you put your general expenses, your average general monthly expenses. Okay. So what we're gonna do, okay, is because we're not gonna save money, we're going to use the full force of the money to pay off our debt, and that's what we call our cash flow. Okay, I know it seems very similar because in traditional method, savings is cash flow, but when you just make a few tweaks to your finances, this number can multiply by, I don't know, 2,000, 3,000, right? Okay, so you see that, and then so now let's go ahead and assume we have an $80,000 line of credit. So what's a line of credit? All it is a financial tool where you can borrow money, pay it back, and then use it over and over again, right? And so I have over, take a look at this, $594,000 in lines of credit. $594,000 in lines of credit. And so if I take a look here, there's all these credit cards. There's all these credit cards. Look at personal line of credit here, another personal line, another personal line. Look at this sweet, sweet $280,000 home equity line of credit. And if I take a look, okay, at this is real, folks. This is a snapshot from my cell phone. 280,000. It's like putting on the infinity glove, right? I can do a snap and then that cash flow will double, triple, quadruple by 2,400 or whatever, right? We'll see how much it increases by. But I could literally click a button and then up to $280,000 will be deposited in my checking account. Isn't that pretty sweet? Like, isn't that really sweet? I didn't even know that was possible. Okay. All right. So, and by the way, let me go ahead and show you my mortgage that I paid off in 2 years and 9 months. 2 years and 9 months. See, every time like people talk to me, you want to know something crazy? People act like they're not impressed. Like, oh, what's the deal with this guy? Right. And then I just say, okay, yeah, sure. Don't be impressed. I'll just look at my mortgage that I paid off in 2 years and 9 months. I'm sure you did something better than that, right? Unless you did. Like, I actually know a dude, older Korean gentleman, and, what he can do, he can even do better than this. Like, he doesn't have a $280,000 line of credit. He just shows me his checking account. It's like $2 million, and he's like, "Here, I have $2 million in my checking account. Show me on a smartphone." And it's like, "You can borrow the money if you want." I'm like, "What?" Guy owns 5 commercial properties, and, he's doing quite well for himself. So, the sad part is I don't have any like deals or anything like that that requires $2 million because for right now this is okay with me, and maybe soon I will get the huge line of credit, right? The huge, humongous, bigly line of credit, right? So, all right, and this is me, goat, the goat of velocity banking, greatest of all time. And then, you could do amazing things. Buy real estate at a discount, 100, 200, $150,000 discount, and then, drink the Kool-Aid or the crack, right? Velocity banking crack. All right, let's get started. All right. Whoa, what am I talking about? I don't even know. All right, so let's go ahead and start off. Now, here's the thing of like that trips up most people. How do you know what debts that you're going to move to increase your cash flow, right? So what usually we start off with the high interest rate credit cards and short-term loans, right? because they eat up your cash flow the most. So if I move 57,000 here into the line of credit, guess what happens to these two? 0, 0, and we literally went from $61 to almost about 2,000 in an instant. This is going to be the most clickbaitiest moment of your life. This is where a lot of people, they look at this and it's like, wait a minute, the income didn't increase, but it kind of looks like the expenses decreased, even though they got simply just got transferred here, right? So how did we literally go from $60 to $1,966.15? See, if you were gonna make this into like the ultimate cult, this is where people would like convert right on the spot because nobody has ever showed them this. Same income, same expenses, but $61 to 1966. Oh my goodness, this must be some sort of a scam. Is it? I don't know, you tell me. Just like, if I take a look at my 30-year mortgage paid off in 2 years and 9 months, it's what we call a Festivus miracle. I stole that one from, Seinfeld as well. But yes, 2 years and 9 months. Literally, 2 years and 9 months. You can stare at it and feed my ego, right? That's really the whole point of me showing this. But yes, and then the final step is once we've maximized that cash flow, what we're gonna do is pay off our debt and that, put the entire 5,800 into the line of credit as an overpayment, and then we take our expenses out. So because we're overpaying, it satisfies a minimum monthly payment, so that don't matter. And then number 2 is because the interest, right, is based on the average daily balance. We're doing our best to minimize it. Okay. And so now let's go ahead and calculate the next month and then the previous month's balance, interest minus our cash flow. And so our cash flow is not $61, it's 1966.15, right? And of course, we have to include the line of credit interest. It's going to be based on the average daily balance, multiply by the interest rate, and then divide by 12. And I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste this, right? Copy and paste this, and we'll see that in about 33 months, it was all paid off. So less than 3 years, we paid off that $57,000 credit card debt. Can you believe it? So 33 months, 57K. And again, we started off with $61. $61. Bazooka Joe's. Is that Bazooka Joe's a synonym for dollar? Probably not. Just made it up. But let's go ahead. And now in our loans, because all we have is the amortized loans left, we just put in our loan calculator and then we see the current months. And the easiest way that I like to figure out which debts to pay off is using what we call the cash flow index, right? Because it's just, if I click here, it's just the current balance divided by the formula. And so think of this as a ranking system, which debts to pay off. You pay off these two, you get about, I don't know, $800 of cash flow. You pay this $207,000 loan, you only get 927, right? So look it up. And then I'm going to just do this. Okay. And then it's going to be 20 grand. 20 grand. Okay. And then I'm going to just do this right here. Okay. And then I'm going to add the 20 grand from the 2 car loans back into my cash flow, put in the line of credit, and then this is 0, 0, right? And then now we're at almost at 3,000. Look at that. So how do we go from 61 to 2,700? That's pretty sweet, right? Pretty sweet. You like the dramatic zooms? I love the dramatic zooms, right? Look at that. Look at that. Ooh. And if we just stayed money, we would have been struggling here. We would have been struggling, but we don't save money. Because here's the thing, this number, it's never really gonna come up in the statement, right? Like you can't look at your bank statement and see like, oh, there's the cash flow number. Well, you could kind of see it's just the previous month's balance plus the latest statement balance, right? So you can kind of see it. That's your cash flow number, but it's not like readily visible like a savings or checking account, right? Right. So let's go ahead and do that right here, and I'm going to update the cash flow number. So let me go back right here, and I'm going to do this. Control paste. And this is going to be 2748.21, right? And It's going to be 40 months. All right, so 57 plus 21 plus 22, which is going to be 100K. Pretty sweet. So in 7 months, we got rid of 2 car loans. I don't know anybody who's done that. Okay, we got rid of 2 car loans in 7 months. Okay, and so what we're gonna do, okay, what we're gonna do is we're just gonna go into 40 months, right? So it's gonna be 0, 0, and then it's gonna be 40, 40. And then what we're gonna do is let's now move the student loan. So here's the thing we got to remember about the student loan or the loans in general. The higher this number is, and the bigger the difference between the line of credit interest rate and the loan interest rate, we got to be a little bit careful, right? We got to be a little bit careful. Now, this doesn't really matter when this number is not that big, but when this number gets big, think about it. You're moving a $204,000 3% loan only to get $927 back in your cash flow, and you're moving an 8% line of credit. Folks, you don't want to do that, right? That's what people sometimes do, unfortunately. And I've gotten comments on this channel like, I regret moving my 2.75% mortgage or something like that into a first lien HELOC. You could have got a second lien HELOC. Do what we call chunking or whatever I call it. All right, so now let's go ahead and move this 28 grand into that line of credit. And I'm just going to go ahead and do this. We're going to do that. And then this is going to be plus 288 13.06. And then this is going to be 0. Student loan is 0. And then now we're at $3,000 of cash flow. Love it. Love it. All right, let's go ahead and do that and update our cash flow to be 3172.47, right? And then we'll blam, and we see that in 50 months, it's gone. Right. So just 10 more months. You ever like hear about people paying off their student loans in 10 months? I never hear about it. I just hear about people struggling. And you know why I know people are struggling? Because I see these TikTokers or YouTubers freaking out about student loan payments. And actually, let me just do this. Student loan Trump, and let's see what we get here. So what? Oh, there's a new student loan forgiveness. Oh, forgiveness order, right? And I'll just do reaction. I have a people are gonna freak out, right? People are gonna freak out. Anytime there's something about Trump, limit student loan forgiveness and student loans, people freak out. Trump administration suspends student loan repayment plans amid mass layoffs, right? So let's see if anybody else is. Well, let me do react. Is there any reactions? I don't see any. Maybe TikTok. We can get some TikTok compilations. So maybe not. I guess I gotta look for them because I swore. Oh, viral TikTok shows why Biden must cancel student debt. Oh man. All right. You know what the best way to get rid of student loans is? Don't give them out. But nobody, for some reason, like people don't think about that. Like they're idiots, and that's just the society we live in, folks. All right, so this is 0, and then this is 50, and then it's 199,000, and now what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of this loan with this thing called the chunking method, which means instead of moving the whole loan into the line of credit, just move a little piece. And even if it's an 8% line of credit, it's okay. Like you can do 15 or 30. Like here's the thing, okay? Not all credit decisions are the best financial decisions. Okay. But let's say you even use a 30% credit card, then this might blow your mind. Okay. All right, so let me pull out the Velocity Banking calculator here. And if you don't know what this is where I learned Velocity Banking from Renatus. So if you're interested in learning about not only Velocity Banking, but some other stuff that I won't get into, click the Google form link below and you might possibly join a cult. All right, so let's go ahead and get started and, or not started, just keep filling out the spreadsheet. So all we gotta do is just fill it out and just plug and play. And it's going to be 199,919.74. 199,919.74. And then this is going to be interest rate. is going to be 3%. And then the payment amount, what's the payment amount? 927.53. And then this is what's the interest rate on the line of credit? Let's not think about that yet. Let's put the income and expenses. So let me go back here. So expenses is everything except for the loan we're trying to pay off. The income is going to be 5,800, and let's just do a $6,000 chunk at a 30% interest rate. Okay, so if you used an 8% line of credit, right? You see it, the interest is 14 grand. Now, let's say I even wanted to use a 30% credit card. And you might say, why would I use a 30% credit card? Okay, valid question. Because if the credit card company sees that you're making $6,000 payments, like, I don't know, every couple of months or so, then they'll be like, what? Like, we got to give this guy more credit. So, even though you might pay slightly more interest throughout the life of the loan, okay, that could be the difference between, let's say, a $7,000 limit and a $27,000 limit. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, even though like you might pay a little bit more, they're giving you huge limits because you use the card. And then, you might minimize the damage by with bonus points and stuff, right? So something to think about. Okay. Not a lot of people think about this, but something to think about, even if you use a 30% credit card. But okay, here's the kicker. Let's say I move this whole loan into a line of credit. I actually end up paying way more than even a 30% credit card if I just kind of do like $6,000 chunks, right? So take a look at that. See, nobody taught you this except for me on YouTube's, unless maybe you study in Renatus, okay? So yeah. So 4.5 years with the 30% credit card, not bad. Not bad. All right, let's go crazy, right? 30% credit card, just because we want to go from $7,000 to $27,000 in credit card limits. And by the way, if you don't think I know what I'm talking about here, ooh, that's some sweet credit cards. Okay, I got a bunch of credit cards, $594,000 in limits. Okay, so if you're gonna doubt the Velocity Banking Master, I get you. I get you. The Velocity Banking Code Leader, but do so at your own. I don't want to say risk. What's another nicer word than that? At your own pleasantness, I guess. I don't know. All right. So let me go here. And what am I doing here? Like, hold on. So let's go here. And then this is going to be 50 divided by 12 plus, was it 4.5? Yeah, 4.5 years. And then this is going to be 8.67 years. And then this is going to be 140 plus 220. And then it's going to be 360K. Sweet, sweet. All right. All right. So the goal of this video is to assure you that your Velocity Banking Cult Leader is okay. Your VB, we'll call it VBC. Your VBC is okay. Okay. Okays. All right. So yeah. And so here's the thing. I got to come home and bring in the proverbial bacon time to time. And the past like 3 days or the weekends, I was just like so sleepy. I was like, oh, I'm so tired. I'm so tired. And then now all of a sudden I just had the energy to make videos, like 3 videos, the third video for today. All right. Well, that's it for today, folks. So if you made it to the end of this video, what should I make you type in? What should I make you type in? Actually, let me see what ChatGPT says. What should I make my followers type at the end of the video so I know they watched? Let's see what ChatGPT says. Ooh, these are pretty good. Let's
Ah, a secret code. Love it. To keep the cult vibe strong, you'll want something catchy, memorable, and relevant to Velocity Banking. Here are a few suggestions that could keep the momentum going. 1. Velocity for life. Simple, powerful, and all about the cult's core belief. 2. Banking at warp speed. A fun and clever way to show they're on the right track. 3. Debt-free dreamer. A nod to the ultimate goal of Velocity Banking. 4. Crushing the debt spiral. A strong call out to the freedom they're chasing. 5. I'm the master of my money. A bit of empowerment with a cult-like touch. 6. Velocity warrior. A little warrior mentality mixed with velocity vibes. Pick something that feels like it speaks directly to the heart of your followers' goals. After that, you can respond with a cult leader approved "Welcome to the movement" or something fun like that to keep the cult growing. Which one are you feeling the most, or do you want to mash some ideas together?
Yeah. Well, let's do velocity for life, right? So if you've made it to the end of this video, just type in velocity for life in the comments. Let me know that you're here. All right. Well, that's it for today, folks. I am okay. Don't worry about it. If I don't post for a couple of days, I'm still okay. Maybe for like 2 months, then you might get a little bit worried, right? And I know, traveling, it's not as safe as statistically, it's very safe, but unfortunately, because of the things we've seen on the news, it's actually scary. And I've actually been in a situation like, oh, what the f. And and that's why I always have my heart out to the people affected by um uh in incidents, right? So I'll just leave it at that. All right, well that's it for today, folks. Have a great day, everybody, and we will see you all on the next video.